You know what I told myself at 22? I'll start saving once I hit $50,000 a year. Then I hit $50,000, and I told myself, okay, $70,000. That's the real number. That's when it gets comfortable enough to save. Then $70,000 came, and somehow there still wasn't enough left over at the end of the month. I wasn't blowing money on yachts. I wasn't living large. I was just living. And what's wild is, I thought this was a me problem, a discipline problem, maybe even an income problem. But when I started digging into the actual psychology behind this, I realized this isn't a personal flaw. This is a feature of the human brain. It even has a name. And once you understand it, you can't unsee it. So let's talk about it. But before we get into it, real quick, if you've ever caught yourself saying, "I'll save when I earn more," drop a guilty in the comments right now. You are not alone, I promise you that. Let me introduce you to a concept called lifestyle inflation. It sounds fancy, but the idea is brutally simple. As your income goes up, your spending goes up right along with it, almost automatically, almost invisibly. You get a raise, so you upgrade your apartment. You get a promotion, so now you're grabbing $7 lattes every morning instead of making coffee at home. You start dining out more, upgrading your car, buying nicer clothes, and none of these feel like splurges. They feel like you've earned it. And here's the psychological kicker. Your brain genuinely believes these upgrades are necessary because you compare yourself not to who you were last year, but to the people around you right now. Psychologists use this term to describe our tendency to return to a baseline level of happiness, no matter what happens to us, good or bad. Think about the last time you bought something you really wanted. Maybe a new smartphone, a new car, tickets to a concert. For a few days, maybe even a few weeks, it felt amazing. And then, it just became normal. The excitement faded, and pretty soon, you were already eyeing the next thing. That's the treadmill. You keep running, but you never actually get anywhere. And your brain keeps telling you, just a little more, just one more upgrade, just a slightly higher salary. And then you'll feel satisfied enough to save. This is already making sense. Go ahead and hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this video, and honestly, more people need to hear this. Here's where it gets really uncomfortable, because the data backs this up hard. Studies consistently show that the savings rate of Americans barely changes as income grows. In fact, according to research from the Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans couldn't cover a surprise $400 expense without borrowing money or selling something. $400, not $4,000. Not $40,000, $400. And this isn't just people making minimum wage. This spans across middle-income earners too. People with jobs, cars, apartments, streaming subscriptions, and zero financial cushion. Here's the third psychological trap, and this one is sneaky. It's called future self-bias. Our brains are wired to treat our future selves almost like a stranger, someone we don't really know. Research from UCLA neuroscientist Hal Hershfield showed that when people thought about their future selves, the brain activity looked more similar to thinking about a stranger than thinking about themselves. So when you say, "I'll save later," you're literally handing responsibility to someone your brain barely recognizes. You're not being lazy, you're not being irresponsible. You're just human. Your brain literally doesn't connect strongly with the 55-year-old version of you sitting at a retirement party or stressing about not having enough money. Pause for a second. What's your number? What salary are you waiting to hit before you start saving? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And I want to know where you're at. There's also a concept called mental accounting, where we mentally divide our money into different buckets: rent bucket, food bucket, fun bucket, and savings. That's always the bucket that gets whatever is left over at the end of the month. So by the time the 28th of the month rolls around, the savings bucket gets like $11 and a prayer. And we tell ourselves, next month will be different. Next month, I'll be more disciplined. But here's what behavioral economists have figured out. The secret isn't discipline, it's design. You don't beat lifestyle inflation through willpower. You beat it by removing choice from the equation entirely. This is the part nobody talks about enough. The fix isn't grinding harder or making a budget spreadsheet at midnight and crying. The fix is something called pay yourself first, and it's one of the most researched, most effective personal finance strategies out there. The idea is simple. Before you pay rent, before you pay your bills, before you touch a single dollar, You move a set percentage into savings or investments automatically. You never see it, you never touch it. And your brain? It adjusts your lifestyle to whatever's left. If your employer offers a retirement account with a company match, max that out first. That's free money. Literally free money just sitting on the table. If your company matches 3% and you don't take it, you are leaving thousands of dollars on the table every single year. And if you don't have a retirement account through work, open a Roth IRA. You can contribute up to $7,000 a year. Your money grows tax-free. Future you, that stranger your brain doesn't really know, will be incredibly grateful. And if nobody's ever broken this stuff down for you before, that's exactly why this channel exists. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because next week we're going deep on why your brain is also terrible at understanding debt and what to do about it. Now I want to show you something that might genuinely change the way you think about money forever. It's the power of compound interest. And the brutal truth is, time is the ingredient you can never buy back. Here's a real example. If you're 25 years old and you invest just $200 a month into a low-cost index fund at an average 7% annual return, by the time you're 65, you'll have over $525,000. Wait just 10 years, start at 35 instead, and that same $200 a month only grows to around $243,000. Same money, same discipline, just 10 years later, and you lose over $280,000. That $280,000 difference? That's not from putting in more money. That's just 10 years of waiting. That's 10 years of saying, I'll start when I earn more. That's the real cost of the lie. And I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't talk about one more layer, social media. We live in the first generation where you get to watch everyone else's highlight reel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, your coworker's Cancun trip, your college friend's new luxury car, your favorite influencer's penthouse in Austin. And your brain, which is wired for social comparison, starts telling you that you're behind, that you should be living like that you need to catch up. And so you spend to keep up with a version of other people's lives that isn't even real. So here's the reframe I want to leave you with. Saving isn't about restriction. It's not about suffering through life. So future, you can have a party. Saving is about buying something that money almost never gets to buy. And that's freedom. The freedom to say no to a job you hate. The freedom to weather an emergency without panic. The freedom to actually live on your own terms. The version of you that says, I'll save when I earn more, isn't bad or lazy. They're just operating on factory settings, default human brain settings. And the good news is, you can change those settings. Not with more willpower, not with a stricter budget, but with a little understanding of how your mind actually works, and a few simple systems that do the work for you. You don't need to earn more to start. You just need to start. And if this video opened your eyes even a little, share it with one person in your life who needs to hear it. A friend, a sibling, a coworker who keeps saying I'll save when I make more. One share could literally change someone's financial future. I'm Ethan, and the best time to start saving was yesterday. The second best time is right now.